Hi, Richard Chase Music Studio here for another guitar lesson. See how this turns out. So I spent a lot of time putting some tape on my guitar. It's not my best guitar because I don't want tape all over my best guitar. But hopefully we'll get some points across here. Continue on the subject that we were talking about before. We'll just do a little recap here. We're going to start at the third string. It's going to be electric today. This is a Fender Squier. Or Squier by Fender, I guess it says. Not a very expensive guitar, but you know what? It's pretty light. It's as light as my chambered Fender Strat Player 2, so I like that. It's chambered body, but it's the same weight as this one because this one's a little skinnier. But it's not chambered. But it's still the same weight as that one. So I really like this one that I didn't pay very much for. And I got this kind of as an experimental platform to work on, and so I don't really care about putting tape on it right now. But I did a lot of times put the tape on my pants and pull it off, so it lost some of its stickiness. So I'll be able to get it off here without leaving too much residue. It does come up a little bit and buzz sometimes, so sorry about that. So we're going to start back on the 3rd fret, 3, 5, 7. And then next string, 3, 5, 7. And then we're just going to go to the root. We leave out 7. I'll tell you why in a minute. And then we're going to go up again. So this one, we had to go up another fret because it's in another time zone. And then again, starting there with the root. So these are all blue. Tuner says that one's in tune. Sounds a little flat up there. Intonation, I need to check that. You gotta adjust the intonation down here. This little screw in the back where the springs are, you gotta adjust that so that those are the same note, so you're not flat when you get up here. It's not very much different, but I can hear it. So all the blue tape is kind of where we started. We sort of know that already. Right below the root, there's always a neighbor, and then above or below the 4, there's a neighbor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 1, 3, 4, 7, 1, 3, 4. Remember that? Okay. Get back here a little bit. 3, 1, 7, 1, 3, 4. Okay. So here's 3. So 3 and 4 are neighbors. So 3, 4, 3, 4. But 7's way over here. So right away we see that these pairs don't always stay exactly together. 7, 1, 3, 4. When 3, 4 starts first, there's a stagger. There's a 2-fret stagger because we only have 3 2-fret jumps in the first part of the major scale, and then in the second part of the major scale we have 4. We have 4 2-fret jumps in the second part of the major scale. And then here's the neighbor. Now that seems a little odd, but it comes in really handy. In just a minute, I'll show you why that's really handy. So over here, where we have the root on the bottom, last time we talked a little bit about playing the major scale and starting to use these fringe notes where the blocks meet the neighbors, because they're really handy. They shorten the distance we have to move with our fingers. So we started with the G, the 3rd fret, and then instead of going to the 3rd note, we picked up the 3rd note over here. So if you go up 1, 2, 3, 4 frets, you get to the 3rd. But if you go to 5 frets, you get the 4th. So going up 4 frets, 2, 4 is the same as going over a string and down one. It's the same thing. 1, 4, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. Row, row, row your boat. Row, row, row your boat. It's the same thing. We just came up here. But we came up here to one of those fringe neighbor notes. So now we can go. There's the beginning of our scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we just happen to have 7 still down here. And what we've noticed, or maybe you've noticed, what kind of finger pattern do we have over here? What kind of finger pattern is that? We learned in the very beginning that there was 2 fret 2 fret finger pattern. And then we learned after that that there's 1 fret 2 fret pattern. 1 fret 2 fret pattern. And right below the 1, that's also a 1 fret 2 fret pattern. But that starts at the 7. If you want to start the little jam on the 7, you can just do 1 fret 2 fret twice in a row. So let's keep going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we want 6. Turns out 6, which is a whole step away, instead of going 4, it's just 3 down and 1 up. So we want to go like that to get our whatever that. Now that's not one of the fringe transition notes, but we had to do that to get up here. But it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6. So that's 6 up here, right above 3. 3, 6, 3, 6. Same over here. 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6. That's kind of trippy. I mean, you got to get your head around that. What are we doing? We're jumping over here, and then we're jumping from here to here. Okay, I'll just tell you something right now that'll blow your mind, but you don't have to worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Every scale, there's like 128 different ways to play it. Oh, God. Okay, don't freak out, because that's crazy. It's crazy. What? I have to learn 128 ways to play the scale? No, you don't. But technically, let's say we're up here on this one, the 3rd note of the G scale, and we want to go to the next whole note. I'm gonna go to that one. Just say we want to go to that one. We can go this way, right? Just right up 2 frets, or we can go over 3 frets, over a string and back 3 frets. Okay, that didn't seem so bad, right? Yeah. But what about from that one? Guess what? We could go over the next string. There's 2 ways to play that one. Do you see where we're going with this? There's 2 ways to play the next one too. Except we ran out of room on the string. So let's start up higher. Let's start way up here. See, there's 2 ways to play every single note. And there's 7 notes before you get to the next octave. So if there's 2 ways to play each one, it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 7 times, which is 128. That's a lot of ways. We went all the way across the neck. Started here. We ended up over there. Okay, you're never gonna have to do that. But that's one of the ways you could play this major scale. But really, we only got to worry about like 6 of them. There's this one, where we start out with the 2 fret 2 fret thing, then we add the 7, and then the root. Okay, that's 1. And then over here on the fringy side, we can start with this one. Okay, Okay, that's pretty cool. And we've got the 1 fret 2 fret pattern starting out. And then we have the 2 fret 1 fret pattern. Okay, practice that. That's a great exercise. And you don't have to stretch your fingers way out like this. It's just a 3 note, it's just a 3 fret zone where you can stay in. Oh, you can go up another string too. Okay, so you can do 1 fret 2 fret, 1 fret 2 fret, 2 fret 1 fret, 2 fret 1 fret. Okay, now we're rocking. It's not that hard to keep track of. All of a sudden you went almost all the way across the neck with just 2 patterns. Okay? And you can make little jams on there. Like that. Practice that kind of stuff. Make little tunes out of that. Just make little melodies, practice melodies. They're your own. You can play whatever you want. It doesn't have to be boring. At first you might want to just figure it out what's really going on here because your fingers and your brain aren't used to doing that. Okay, now we switched to the 2 fret 1 fret pattern. Can you see where half of my fingers are on the white notes and half of my fingers are on the blue notes? Actually, maybe more are on the white notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are on the blue notes. So how many were on the white notes? 1, 2, 3. 3 were on the white notes, which is on that fringe part. So what else can you do? You can, that's one. So we got to start at the root, right? So we're kind of out of the root on here. If we could do it like this. That's one of them. But this next, we need a spread over here. We're not quite there yet. Try it up here. Well, that's the one we did before. Okay, starting with the pinky. So it's pinky, and then 2 fret 1 fret. Oops, not 2 fret 1 fret again. We're doing a half of a 2 fret 2 fret. This is the first half, and then the first half of a 1 fret 2 fret. So that's a little tricky. That's not my favorite one because you have to move you have to shift your hand a little bit. Right there. But you can still do the pre-note. And if you notice, go straight from the pinky to a 2 fret 1 fret. And guess what? You got a 2 fret 1 fret on the 6th string right here. So you could start on the 6th note. Over here we start on the 7th note sometimes. Over here, we start on the 6th note, number 6. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. That's the minor scale. That's pretty cool. And the pinky part is the major scale. But you can go down to the 6. So if you're doing the minor scale, you don't have to shift your finger. It's harder up here because the frets get smaller. You got to really place your finger carefully. When you're reaching over here, it's trickier than if you're up on the top. So we got a 2 fret 1 fret. Oops. Then half of a 2 fret, 2 fret. And then shift and a 1 fret, 2 fret. Then we got to cross the time zone. We can do another 1 fret, 2 fret. So 1 fret, 2 frets, and 2 fret, 1 frets oftentimes are adjacent to each other. So there's 2 fret, 1 fret. And over here we add 1 fret, 2 fret. Now let's go over here to this part right here where it transitions into the neighbor note here. After 1, 2, 3, we're going to start with 4. So if we start with the 1 here and then walk it up with our finger. So we're going to start on, we're really kind of starting the scale on the 3rd, but for right now we'll walk it up. And then there's a 1 fret, 2 fret. Then it switches to a 2 fret, 1 fret. I know it sounds like the same thing I'm saying, but it's not. 1 fret comes first, and then 2 fret comes first on the next one. So you got to get used to that transition. So practice that. And then guess what happens after the first 2 fret, 1 fret? Guess. You just transitioned from 1 fret, 2 fret to 2 fret, 1 fret. So what's going to come next? Another 2 fret, 1 fret. They come in pairs. So if you run into one, you can always play another. So here we have 1 fret, 2 fret, and then we ran into the 2 fret, 1 fret. So, oh, that's the first time I played one of those. There's got to be another one right next door. There is. The only time there's not is if there's is if you've already played the second one. What comes after the second one? You probably don't know because I haven't told you yet. But you could figure it out. Let's figure it out. There's the 1 fret, 2 fret, and the 2 back to back 2 fret, 1 frets. There's only one other pattern we haven't played yet. Do you know what that is? The 2 fret, 2 fret. Right. So, but we're trying to get away from the 2 fret, 2 fret thing. So let's see what else we can do. So where's the root? There's the root right there. The root is pinky on the 5th string. Just so happens, because the time zone, we don't have to do our shift now. It's right there. This is one of my favorite scales. Because you don't have to shift anywhere. It's a pattern. It's a little hard to memorize. But if you understand, we're on the edge of that whole note pattern block. And because we're on the edge of that, sometimes we got to dip back into it and get a whole note. And then shift to string and get back to the edge again. So we're crossing the void right here. As you can see it. Here's blue note, white note, white note, blue note, white note, blue note, white note, white note, blue note, blue note, white note, blue note, blue note, white note, blue note, blue note, white note, blue note. So it looks like from here, we've used 3 white notes again, and the other ones were blue. But that was the first octave. Some of these blue ones came from the second octave. Anyway, so down here we had a 1 fret, 2 fret, and then we switched to 2 fret, 1 fret. And up here, we did a little alternating thing to start off with to get up to that other one. So down here we did 2 of them, right? We dropped one of them down here. So instead of doing 2 of them and then going to the 2 fret, 1 frets, we're just doing 1 of them and then going to the 2 fret, 1 frets. Okay, that's really important. So that's another scale we got to learn. Got to learn that one. It's these fringy ones. Now, so we found that our parent scale was on the pinky finger. Down here, the parent note, the root note was on the middle finger. We can put the pinky finger on the 6th string up here. We talked about that a minute ago when we were trying to do the scales all the way across the neck, kind of. So there's really, so from this note, you can do the 2 fret, 2 fret thing. Watch. That's one way to do it, starting with our pointer finger. And then we can start with our middle finger and do it again. So that's 3 ways starting from the same note. And then we can do it from our pinky. Okay. Now why is that cool? Because different scale versions work with different chords. So, say I'm playing that. Which one do I want to play with that? That's pretty handy. I'm only playing part of that whole chord. This is a bar chord. This is a kind of an E-shaped bar chord, they call it, because E's like this. You just bar up here, and you move your fingers, bar it. So, but you don't even have to play these first 2 strings. You can just play the other ones, 4 strings, or just the 3 kind of in the middle. That's what I like to do. And then you can play that chord too. And then we might want to play, so that's a C chord. We might want to play the D chord after that. It's right there. And then back to the first beginning. This is a good way. Just use these 3 diagonal notes and bar just the last 2. So what about the pinky version? That's pretty handy. With the pinky, you can just pick up that chord. Let me for the major chord. Down here it's and what about the 2 fret, 2 fret, 2 fret? You can do the same thing. So it depends on where you're at, which chord you're going to grab. And the same thing starting on the next string. So far we've seen 1 fret, 2 fret, and 2 fret, 1 fret, and doubles in a row. Double patterns in a row. And then over here we just had a single pattern and then a double pattern in a row. And the shift saved us from having to go over here. So that's a different pattern. But it really starts with your pinky on the 5 string? What about starting with your middle finger on the 5 string? Try that. You will find that it is exactly the same as this one. You can pick up the 7 if you want to. I like to kind of go do that. Tapping. Labels coming up. But you have to shift. You have to shift in the middle of your 2 fret 1 frets team. They're kind of teams. 2 fret 1 frets got a team, and 1 fret 2 frets got a team. And so think of like basketball teams, maybe, or soccer teams. And the 2 fret 2 fret thing, it actually has 3 players on the team. You don't really see it right here because it goes to a 1 fret 2 fret after that. I didn't really show you that, so there's something new. 2 fret 2 fret 2 fret 2 fret 1 fret 2 fret 1 fret 2 fret. So there's a clue. What comes after the 2 fret 2 fret pattern? Did you catch it? It's a 1 fret 2 fret. Interesting. Okay, so now we know the 1 fret 2 fret pattern follows, when you're ascending, the 2 fret 2 fret pattern. So, and the 2 fret 2 fret, so the 1 fret 2 fret pattern follows the 2 fret 2 fret pattern, and then the other pattern follows the 1 fret 2 fret pattern. So the 2 fret 1 fret pattern follows the 1 fret 2 fret pattern, and the 1 fret 2 fret pattern follows the 2 fret 2 fret pattern. You got to wrap your head around that. There's a lot of fret words in there. And then, so I just did the whole notes, 2 rows, 2 strings of 3 whole notes. And now I'm going to do 2 strings of 1 fret 2 frets. Now I'll do it backwards. So going backwards, it's the other way, but really just remember it forwards and you'll eventually figure it out backwards. But let's say we didn't want the root right here. Let's say we wanted to use the root over here, right here. Okay, so let's do 2 fret 2 fret, and then 1 fret 2 fret. But we got to cross the time zone, so we got to shift. Gonna practice that, and I'll give you a really good practice thing in a minute on how to practice that. I had to practice a lot of things on here that will ramp up your comprehension, and not right this minute, but today you're gonna go, oh, that was hard. But you will tomorrow. You can do that tomorrow, and then you do it the next day. Then you do it the next day. Then you do it the next day. And man, your fingers got a lot of exercise. Your ears got a lot of exercise. Your brain got a lot of exercise. And it will help you immensely, like 3 times faster. You will grow 3 times faster. So where are we? Yeah, we moved our root. Now we're here. So what happens if we go down? So what did I tell you about the 2-step 2-step pattern? Is there a pair of them? Do they go in a row? Well, they do go in a row, but there's not a pair of them. There's 3 of them. There's 3 players on this team. You can go down. So you can play 3 strings in a row of the 2 fret 2 fret pattern, but you're not starting at the root. Starting at the 5. strings in a row of 2 fret, 2 fret, and then what do you have? What do you have? What follows the 2 fret, 2 fret pattern? 1 fret, 2 fret. Okay. And time zone. And then what follows the 1 fret, 2 fret? The 2 fret, 1 fret. Okay, we just went all the way across the neck. And the only patterns we used were 2 fret, 2 fret, which went into 1 fret, 2 fret, which then went into 2 fret, 1 fret. Okay? Once you realize there's only 3 patterns, it simplifies a lot of stuff. There's just the next hard part we got to work on is transitioning between those. Because sometimes you get to run into a transition between the 2-step, 2-step, and the 1 fret, 2 fret. Okay, so okay, here's another mind twister bender question. So we got three 2 fret, 2 frets in a row. And then what? We have 2 1 fret, 2 frets in a row. And then what? What's after that? What's after the 1 fret, 2 frets? Okay, you got it? 2 fret, 1 fret. But there's 2 of them. We ran out of strings. If we had a 7-string guitar, we could play the second one. Maybe I can find that over here. Here it is right here. 2 fret, 2 fret. What's right below 2 fret, 2 fret? 1 fret, 2 fret. No. Yeah, 1 fret, 2 fret. So this is 2 fret, 1 fret really, but it's backwards. So backwards it's 1 fret, 2 fret. 2 fret, 1 fret, backwards is 1 fret, 2 fret. Okay, does that confuse the heck out of you? You'll figure it out. So 2 fret, 1 fret, and then 1 fret, 2 fret. That's familiar, isn't it? Yeah, way down here we did that. So if 1 fret, 2 fret has 2 members on the team, and then 2 fret, 1 fret has 2 members on the team, and 2 fret, 2 fret has 3 members on the team, what happens? After this one, we're going to move up the roster. The next team's coming in of 2 fret, 2 fret. But we got to cross the time zone right here, so we got to go over here. And if there's another string, there's a root right there. We started on the 5. So when we transition from 1 2 to 2 1, then the next one is going to start on the 5. There's 1 2 3 1. We started on the 7. And 5 6 7 1 2 3. And if there's another string, we'd have 4 5 6. So we're going to transition between these guys. Okay. How long have we gone? Oh, 36 minutes. Wow. Okay. I'll show you the practice thing that you can do. And it's just to increment where you're playing something by 1 fret. That's it. So let's say you're working on the 1 fret, 2 fret thing to transition into the 2 fret, 1 fret thing. And then you think you're all good there, okay? So move up 1 fret. And It seems like it would be simple, but for your brain, it's like, wait a minute, we're in a complete different spot on the neck. And if you just want to throw a monkey wrench to the whole thing, move up here. It sounds weird at first, but when you figure out that you started on the 7, that's why it sounds weird. If you skip the 7 or just kind of toggle it. Where we went up the scale, and we didn't stop at the root. We went up another 3 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. We went up from the 1 to the 4. So that's 1 to the 2, 2 to the 3, 3 to the 4. We went up 3 times. So we played 4 notes all together. Sounds a little weird. Because it's more than one scale. It's not even starting on the root. If you just start on the root, that's fine. But remember, you got a neighbor right there. Wait a minute. I did it wrong. I'm going to start with 1 fret. It just seems weird because your ear is really used to this one. And then you move up a fret. Move up another fret. That's weird. Move up another fret. It's just a brain twister almost. Then just randomly pick a spot. And then where's the root? Right here. And if you do that, that's cool. That's a third, a major third. If you go 1 fret, if you go to the next string and 1 fret down, I'll show you something else cool. And then you go another string down, but 2 frets. You run into a triad with just a little 3-string bar. So see if you can add that in, then do it somewhere else. Okay, we'll just do it randomly right here. Great, so that's your cool practice tip. Take this pattern, you think you got it down, even if it's just the 2 fret, 2 frets, and then the beginning of a 1 fret 2 fret. That's what this is. That's the beginning of a 1 fret 2 fret. Whenever you have 2 notes next together, the thing is wild. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of a 1 fret 2 fret. But it's also the ending of a 2 fret 1 fret. So that's another thing to practice. Bonus practice thing. Practice the 2 fret 1 fret. Then move up the 2 frets to the 1 fret 2 fret, and then go back down. Probably can't do it that fast, but now we're gonna stack practice bonuses. Now do the same way we did before. Start a half step higher. I went backwards. Just start up here, anywhere you want. faster. So lots of stuff to practice. You got patterns. We got patterns. We got 3 patterns. You got 3. When you do 3 in a row like that, where's the root? It's in the middle layer. We talked about that last lesson. The root's going to be right here. So I got off. At first I did the 2 fret, 2 fret for 3 strings, and then it jumped up to the root and did the other one. So you could think of this first part, you can think of it 2 ways. It's either half of the 2 fret, 2 fret, or it's the second half. It's the first half of the 2 fret, 2 fret, or it's the second half of the 1 fret, 2 fret. You can practice that too. So when we're starting on here, this first part of the 1 fret, 2 fret is implied. You don't have to play it the first half step, but you have to know that it's there, because as soon as you go to the next string, do your 1 fret, 2 fret, you're done with the 1 fret, 2 frets. You're done. You got to go to the other pattern, 2 fret, 1 fret. And then in this case, you got to move up a fret because of the time zone change. So to get your second 2 fret, 1 fret, you got to cross the border and go into the other time zone. So you got a lot of information here, but it's really good information, and it's not that hard in the long run to remember this stuff. I didn't confuse you with a bunch of note names or anything. We're just doing ear training and interval training, learning about intervals and patterns. Because if you can get the patterns down of these intervals, you're going to do great. Absolutely. I know you're going to do great, because you are way ahead of what other people are working on their brain to learn. I'm trying to keep this foundational. We're building the foundation, and then on top of this thing, then we can add note names and chords and triads and 7 chords and pentatonic scales, and we can have all kinds of fun. And you know, a lot of people want to get you to the fun right away, but I want to get you to the deep learning right away. So that's why we're doing this. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm grateful that I got you, this far into this lesson as an up-and-coming great guitar player. You're at the beginning of a great guitar player experience. If you just keep going with your streak, do it every day, 5-10 minutes, however long your fingers can handle. Acoustic guitar, your fingers can't handle quite as much. Electric guitar, you can probably handle more. Nylon guitar, I have a couple nylon guitars and my fingers get sore. I go grab one of those. I've got one that's got an acoustic guitar neck, and I've got a straight classical guitar neck. And then I've got a silent guitar that I think probably has acoustical guitar neck. I'm not sure. I think it has maybe it has classical. Let me grab it. The neat thing about the classical guitar, to me, is that I can see every note. I can see every string better because it doesn't curve. It's not curving away from me. When the guitar is curving away from you, you don't see each string as well. One string kind of hides behind the other string. And so it was kind of helpful to me at the time to be able to do that. And I can just go, not disturb anybody when I play this thing. Oh, here's another one. I didn't show you this one. Well, I probably did. But anyway, you 2 fret, 1 fret, and then half of a 2 fret, 2 fret. That's one of my favorite practice scales. You can go down here and play the minor. It's 2 fret, 1 fret practice, and then you're only playing half of the 2 fret, 2 fret, and there isn't even a 1 fret, 2 fret. You're in the middle of the whole 4 notes that are a whole step apart. You're in the middle of that right here. So you're jumping through that section. You're jumping through the 2 fret, 2 fret section to get to the other side where the other patterns go. So on the bottom side, you've got the 2 fret, 1 fret, and then you jump over the 2 fret, 2 fret pattern, which is one unit of the 2 fret, 2 fret side, and now you're at the 1 fret, 2 fret side. Jump over 1 unit of the 2 fret. Now it's 2 fret, 1 fret. All right, that's enough bonus material. No more bonus material. Next time, come back next time. You're gonna do great. Thanks for watching Richard Chase Music Studio.